Imagine you are sitting with a close friend, tempted to share a secret goal, a personal struggle, or a moment of kindness you did for someone else. You pause, wondering if saying it out loud will bring understanding or judgment. Have you ever shared something personal, only to regret it later? Have you noticed how some dreams lose their power once spoken too soon? Think of a time when you shared good news and the excitement faded because of someone's reaction. A simple example: a young man decides to run a marathon. He tells everyone, expecting support. Instead, he hears doubt. "Are you sure you can do it?" And suddenly, his confidence weakens. But another man keeps his goal private. Without outside opinions, his determination grows stronger. When race day comes, he crosses the finish line, surprising everyone. His success came from silence, not applause. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where each video brings insights to help you live a wiser, more mindful life. Before we dive in, here's a quick request. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please, if you find value here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us continue creating content that inspires growth. Now, let's talk about why some things are best left unshared. In Buddhism, silence holds power. Not every thought needs a voice, and not every feeling needs an audience. When you share too much, you risk losing the energy that drives your goals. Imagine a flame, small but strong. Every time you share your plans, it's like opening a window. Too much wind, and the flame flickers. But when you guard that flame, it grows into a steady fire. Silence protects not only your dreams, but also your peace. Sharing struggles too often can turn them into stories that define you. Constantly explaining yourself can scatter your focus. Even acts of kindness lose their purity when shared for approval. True strength comes from knowing what to keep within. As this series unfolds, you'll discover 10 things that, according to Buddhist wisdom, are better kept to yourself. Each part will show how silence can lead to success, peace, and deeper relationships. So stay tuned, because what you learn here might just change the way you live. Your dreams and goals, guarding the seeds of success. Sit with me for a moment. Feel the stillness around us. In this quiet space, I will share a truth that many overlook. Your dreams are seeds, and not every soil is meant to hold them. When you share your dreams too soon, you risk placing those seeds in soil that cannot nourish them. And so, the lesson is this: guard your dreams with care. Picture a young boy who finds a rare flower seed. Excited, he shows it to everyone he meets. Some admire it, but others say, "That flower won't grow here." Doubt seeps into the boy's heart. When he plants the seed, he waters it with hesitation, not hope. The flower never blooms. But imagine if he had kept that seed close, planting it quietly and tending to it with unwavering faith. In time, a vibrant flower would have blossomed, surprising everyone who doubted him. This is the power of silence. Your dreams are like that seed. When you speak of them too soon, you invite the world's opinions, some encouraging, some not. Each word from others is like a breeze that can either nurture or extinguish the flame within you. And so, wisdom teaches us to hold our dreams close until they are strong enough to stand on their own. Some may ask, but what if sharing brings support? True, there are moments when the right person's encouragement can help your dream grow. Yet, how often do we know who that right person is? Too often, we share with those who cannot see what we see. Their doubt is not born of malice, but of their own limitations. Still, their words can plant seeds of uncertainty within us. Even a single doubt can take root and grow faster than confidence. Think of the bamboo tree. For years, it shows no growth above the soil. Yet beneath the earth, its roots spread deep and strong. Then, when the time is right, it shoots up rapidly, astonishing all who see it. Your dreams must grow like bamboo, rooted deeply in silence before they rise into the world. Speak of them too soon, and you risk digging up those roots before they are ready. Silence is not secrecy, it is wisdom. To keep your dreams within does not mean you distrust the world. It means you understand the fragile nature of beginnings. In their early stages, dreams are tender and easily swayed. Guarding them is an act of care, like protecting a young plant from harsh winds until it grows sturdy enough to stand tall. Yet, I know the temptation. When excitement fills your heart, you wish to share it. You imagine others will see what you see, feel what you feel. But remember this, not everyone can hear the music that plays within you. Some will not understand, and some may even laugh, not out of cruelty, but because they cannot hear what you hear. Their laughter is like frost on a budding flower. Do not let their doubt become your doubt. Trust that your dream is real, even if no one else can see it yet. Imagine a sculptor who holds a block of marble. Within it, she sees a masterpiece, though others see only stone. If she listens to their disbelief, her hands may falter. But if she carves with faith, the masterpiece emerges. So it is with your dreams. Hold the vision in your heart and work in silence until the world can see what you have always known. Some may ask, but should I never share my dreams? No, there will come a time when sharing is right. But share with care. Speak only to those whose hearts can hold your dream as gently as you do. Even then, choose your words with intention. Too much talk can scatter the energy needed for action. The more you explain, the more you risk losing the essence of your vision. Silence preserves that energy, allowing it to grow stronger within you. Consider this. A bird does not announce its flight before it soars. It simply spreads its wings and takes to the sky. So too should you let your success speak for itself. When your dream has grown strong and sure, the world will see its beauty without you needing to explain. In that moment, your silence will have spoken louder than any words could. Some fear that keeping their dreams private means they will face the journey alone. Yet, solitude is not loneliness. In silence, you discover your own strength. You learn to trust yourself, to listen to the voice within that says, yes, you can. This inner voice is your greatest ally. Share your dreams too soon, and the noise of others may drown it out. But in silence, that voice grows louder, guiding you step by step until your dream becomes reality. And so, I leave you with this final thought. The greatest achievements often begin in quiet determination. Let your dreams take root in the soil of your heart. Tend to them with patience and faith. Speak of them only when the time is right, and not a moment before. For when you guard the seeds of your dreams, you give them the strength to bloom into something far greater than the world could ever imagine. Acts of kindness. The value of selfless giving. Come closer. Let me share a truth that many forget. Kindness is most powerful when no one sees it. You see, when you give without seeking praise, your heart becomes lighter. The act itself becomes pure, like a flower blooming in the dark, unseen yet still beautiful. Imagine a man who gives food to a hungry stranger. If he tells everyone, seeking admiration, the warmth of that moment fades. But if he walks away quietly, holding no pride, the kindness lingers in his heart. In that silence, something grows, something sacred. Kindness is not a performance. It is a gift from your soul to the world. When you give with no expectation, you free yourself from the need for approval. This freedom is a treasure. It allows your heart to open wider, without fear of judgment or disappointment. Think of the river that flows without asking who drinks from its waters. It nourishes all who come near, expecting nothing in return. Be like the river. Let your kindness flow naturally, without announcing its presence. In this way, you nourish not only others, but also your own spirit. But why? You ask, should we keep our kindness private? Because the world often measures actions by their rewards. When you give and then seek praise, the world labels you kind and offers applause. But this applause is fleeting. It fades as quickly as it arrives, leaving you hungry for more. This hunger binds you, making your kindness dependent on others' approval. True kindness, however, needs no witness. When you help someone quietly, the act becomes a seed planted deep within your heart. Over time, this seed grows into compassion, a compassion that shapes who you are. It softens your gaze, your words, your very presence. Others feel this warmth, even if they do not know its source. Consider this. A monk walks through a village, carrying rice to an old widow. No one sees him. No one praises him. Yet the widow's heart is filled with gratitude, and the monk's spirit grows lighter. This unseen kindness echoes far beyond that moment. It ripples through the village, touching lives in ways the monk may never know. But some may say, if no one knows of my kindness, how will it inspire others? My friend, the world does not need your stories, it needs your example. When you live with quiet compassion, those around you feel it. They may not know why, but they are drawn to your presence. They begin to wonder, what makes this person so peaceful, so kind? And in that wondering, they awaken to their own capacity for kindness. Silence, you see, gives your kindness room to grow. When you keep your good deeds private, you protect them from the winds of pride and judgment. They remain pure, untouched by the world's opinions. In this purity, they gain strength, like a seed hidden beneath the soil, growing stronger with each day. Now, do not misunderstand. It is not wrong to share kindness openly. A smile, a helping hand, these are gifts that brighten the world. But when you seek praise for these acts, you shift the focus from giving to receiving. The act becomes about you, not the other person. And in that shift, something precious is lost. But when you give quietly, expecting nothing, you discover a deeper joy. This joy does not depend on others' approval. It arises from within, steady and unshakable. It becomes a part of who you are, like the warmth of the sun, always present, even when hidden by clouds. Think of a candle lighting another candle. The flame does not diminish, it grows. So too does your kindness. Each quiet act of compassion lights another heart, and that heart, in turn, may light another. In this way, your kindness spreads far beyond what you can see. But you may wonder, if I never speak of my kindness, how will others know the goodness in my heart? My friend, they will know, not through your words, but through your presence. A compassionate heart shines through the eyes, the voice, the smallest gestures. Others feel this warmth, even if they cannot name it. Imagine walking into a room where someone sits in stillness, their heart full of compassion. They say nothing, yet their presence brings peace. This is the power of unseen kindness. It transforms not only your life, but the lives of those around you. So, the next time you feel the urge to share your good deeds, pause. Ask yourself, why do I wish to share this? If the answer is to inspire, remember that your actions speak louder than words. If the answer is to seek praise, remember that true fulfillment comes from within. But do not judge yourself if you have sought praise before. We are all learning. Simply begin anew. Practice kindness quietly. Notice how it changes you. Notice the warmth that grows within your heart. This warmth is a gift not only to others, but to yourself. In the silence of unseen kindness, you discover a freedom that no applause can offer. You become like the river, the candle, the monk carrying rice, giving without seeking, loving without asking, shining without needing to be seen. This is the path of true compassion. This is the wisdom of selfless giving. Walk this path, and you will find a joy that no one can take away. Your personal struggles, transforming pain in privacy. Life is not without its burdens. Each heart, no matter how joyful it may seem, carries its share of sorrow. But listen carefully. There is wisdom in holding your pain close. Not as a weight to drag you down, but as a seed, one that grows stronger in silence. You see, when you share your struggles with everyone, something precious is lost. Imagine a flower, still a bud, fragile and small. If you expose it too soon to harsh winds and curious hands, it may never bloom. Your pain is like that bud. It needs quiet, gentle care to transform into strength. Many people believe that speaking of their suffering will ease the load. Sometimes, yes, a trusted friend can offer comfort. But if you scatter your sorrow carelessly, telling anyone who will listen, you risk turning your pain into a story you must keep repeating. Each retelling digs the wound deeper, until it becomes part of who you think you are. Silence is not suppression. No, it is the soil where transformation happens. In stillness, pain becomes wisdom. When you sit alone with your sorrow, without judgment, without fear, you begin to see it clearly. You see that pain is not your enemy. It is a teacher. If you listen, breathe in, feel the heaviness within you. Now, instead of pushing it away, welcome it. Yes, this is where change begins. Do not rush to share this moment with others. Hold it close. Let your heart learn its lesson before you give it words. There is great power in privacy. When you guard your struggles, you protect the energy needed to overcome them. Imagine a river flowing through a narrow canyon, strong, focused, unstoppable. But if that river is allowed to spread wide and shallow, its power is lost. So too with your pain. When you share it too freely, your strength is scattered. Do not misunderstand. This is not about hiding your suffering out of shame. No, it is about honoring your inner journey. Others may offer advice, but only you can walk your path. Their words, while meaning though they may be, can sometimes plant seeds of doubt. Why don't you just move on, they might say. Or, it's not that bad. These words, spoken without understanding, can make your burden heavier. But when you hold your pain with compassion, without seeking approval or validation, you begin to transform. Slowly, like the dawn rising over distant hills, a new strength emerges. This strength is yours alone. It does not need praise or recognition. It simply is. In Buddhism, we are taught that suffering is part of life. No one is free from it. But how you respond to suffering, that is where freedom lies. If you share your pain with everyone, you give away your power. But if you hold it gently within, you learn to see beyond the pain, to the wisdom beneath it. Do you feel the truth of this? Perhaps you remember a time when you kept your sorrow to yourself and found strength you did not know you had. Or maybe you have shared your struggles too soon and felt the sting of misunderstanding. Both are lessons. Both guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. Now, consider this. When you share your pain, what is it you truly seek? Comfort? Validation? Perhaps a sense of connection? These are natural desires. But remember, true healing does not come from others. It comes from within. No amount of sympathy can replace the strength that grows from facing your pain alone. This is not to say you must walk your path entirely alone. No, a trusted teacher, a wise friend, these can be blessings. But choose carefully. Not everyone is ready to hold your pain with compassion. Some will judge, others will try to fix what cannot be fixed, and some, without meaning to, will turn your sorrow into gossip. So guard your heart. Share your struggles only when the time is right, and only with those who have earned your trust. Until then, let silence be your sanctuary. In that silence, listen. Your pain has something to teach you. Perhaps it is showing you where you are clinging too tightly, or where you need to let go. Perhaps it is revealing a strength you never knew you had. Do not fear this process. It may be difficult, yes, but within every tear, there is a seed of wisdom. Within every sorrow, there is a path to freedom. The Buddha himself taught that suffering is the first noble truth, but not the final one. For beyond suffering lies the path to peace. And so, when life grows heavy, do not rush to share your burden. Instead, sit quietly. Feel the weight of your sorrow, and know that it is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Trust this process. Trust yourself. In time, the pain will soften, the wounds will heal, and you will emerge, not broken, but transformed. And when that time comes, when your heart is steady and your mind is clear, only then, if you choose, may you share your story. But not as a cry for help. No, you will share it as a light for others. Proof that even the deepest sorrow can lead to wisdom and peace. But that is a lesson for another time. For now, simply hold your pain close. Let silence do its work. And trust that, one day, this sorrow will become your strength. Wealth and possessions, the illusion of external validation. You seek to understand wealth and possessions. Good. Listen closely. Many chase riches, thinking they will bring happiness. They gather more and more, bigger homes, faster cars, shiny things to show the world. Yet, their hearts remain heavy. Why? Because wealth is like water in your hands. No matter how tightly you grasp, it slips through your fingers. Imagine holding a golden coin. Feel its weight. Now, ask yourself, does this coin make you happy, or is it the thought of what others will think when they see you with it? There lies the illusion. People do not seek wealth itself. They seek the approval, admiration, and respect that wealth seems to bring. But approval is a fleeting breeze. It touches your face, then disappears. Long ago, a rich man came to the Buddha, his heart troubled. He had gold, land, and power, yet he could not sleep at night. "Why am I not happy?" he asked. The Buddha smiled gently and said, "Because you have become a servant to the things you own. True wealth is freedom from desire." The man did not understand at first, but as he walked home, he noticed how heavy his gold felt, how his mind never rested because he feared losing what he had. Slowly, he began to give away what he did not need, and with each gift, his heart grew lighter. Now, ask yourself, Do you own your possessions, or do they own you? Look at the things around you. Each one requires care, attention, and protection. A grand house demands cleaning. A fast car needs maintenance. Even the finest clothes wear out. The more you have, the more your mind is weighed down. Can you truly be free when your thoughts are always on what you must keep and protect? Yet, wealth itself is not the enemy. Money can buy food, shelter, and comfort. But when wealth becomes your identity, when your worth is measured by what you own, you step onto a path of endless hunger. No amount of gold can fill the space inside you that longs for peace. This is why, in the teachings of the Buddha, simplicity is cherished. A humble life, free from the need to impress others, opens the door to true contentment. Look at the lotus flower. It blooms in muddy water, yet its petals remain pure. It does not envy the rose or seek to shine brighter than the sun. It simply exists, content with its place in the world. Be like the lotus. Do not let your heart become tangled in the illusion that more things will make you more worthy. Your value does not come from what you own. It comes from the kindness in your heart and the peace in your mind. There is a story of a wise monk who lived with only a robe and a bowl. One day, a rich man visited him, hoping to learn the secret of happiness. Seeing the monk's simple hut, the man said, "How can you live with so little?" The monk replied, "How can you live with so much? Everywhere you go, your mind carries the weight of your possessions. But I am free. Wherever I go, I carry nothing, and so my heart is light." Now, think of your own life. How much of what you own do you truly need? How many things sit untouched, yet still occupy space in your mind? Release what you do not need. Give freely, without expecting praise. Each time you let go of something you no longer need, you create space for peace, for freedom, for joy. This is the path to true wealth. Do not mistake this for a call to poverty. No, the lesson is not to abandon all things, but to loosen your grip on them. Use what you have, but do not let it define you. Enjoy comfort, but do not chase it endlessly. Let your heart remain light, unburdened by the need to prove your worth through possessions. Remember this, the world will always try to measure you by what you have, but the wise measure themselves by what they can live without. When you no longer seek validation from others, you become free. You can walk through life with your head high, not because of what you own, but because of the peace within you. And so, I ask you, what will you carry forward from this moment? Will you continue chasing the illusion of wealth, or will you choose the freedom of simplicity? The choice is yours. But know this, true riches are found not in gold, but in a heart that is free from desire. Now take a breath. Feel the air fill your lungs. In this moment, with nothing but yourself, you are already enough. Hold on to that truth. And when the world tempts you with promises of more, smile, and remember that the greatest treasure is a mind at peace. Family and relationship issues, protecting sacred bonds. Family, the place where life begins and love is first learned. Yet, how often do we forget the power of silence within these sacred bonds? Words, once spoken, cannot return. Like ripples on water, they travel far, touching shores we cannot see. A harsh word in anger, a secret shared in haste, a complaint spoken to a stranger, each can weaken the thread that holds a family together. You see, relationships are fragile, like thin silk. A single tear may seem small, but if pulled, the whole cloth unravels. This is why wisdom teaches us, some things are better left unsaid. Have you ever argued with someone you love, then later wished you had stayed silent? The heat of the moment makes the tongue quick, but regret lingers long after. Silence, in those moments, is not weakness, it is strength. It is the pause that prevents pain. Imagine a father who comes home tired, his heart heavy with the day's burdens. His child runs to him, full of joy. But the father, lost in his thoughts, speaks sharply, just once. The child's laughter fades. The father's words, though forgotten by him, stay with the child for years. Now, imagine if the father had paused, taken a breath, and smiled instead. The child's heart would have blossomed like a flower touched by sunlight. Such is the power of restraint. But silence is not only for moments of anger. It also protects the private struggles within a family. Not every disagreement needs to be shared with the world. When you speak of a loved one's faults to others, you trade their trust for temporary sympathy. Yet what is gained? A moment of comfort, at the cost of a bond built over years. True strength lies in holding these struggles close, seeking solutions within the circle of those who share the burden. There is an old saying, "The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists." In relationships, this bending is patience, listening without judgment, holding back harsh words, and allowing space for growth. When a loved one makes a mistake, silence can be the greatest gift. Not the cold silence of anger, but the warm silence of understanding. It says, "I see your fault, but I choose to hold space for your better self." Yet, silence is not always easy. The mind urges us to speak, to defend, to explain, to be heard. But ask yourself, will these words bring peace, or will they build walls? In family life, every word is a seed. If spoken with care, it grows into trust and love. If spoken in anger, it grows into resentment. Once planted, these seeds take root deep within the heart. Choose them well. Consider also the silence of presence. Sometimes, the greatest comfort is not found in words, but in simply being there. A hand held during sorrow, a shoulder offered without question, a quiet moment shared in laughter. These unspoken gestures weave threads of connection stronger than any words. In times of loss, what can words truly offer but a silent embrace? That speaks to the soul. Of course, there are moments when words must be spoken, when silence would cause harm. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Speak when your words can heal, when they can guide, when they can uplift. But hold back when your words would only add weight to an already heavy heart. In Buddhism, we learn that attachment to being right is a source of suffering. In family life, this attachment often leads to endless arguments, each person clinging to their own version of truth. But what is gained by winning an argument if love is lost in the process? Sometimes, silence is the greatest victory. It is the space where forgiveness begins. Remember, too, that not every joy needs to be announced. Sharing good news can bring happiness, yes, but when shared too soon, it may invite envy or doubt. Let your successes bloom quietly, like a lotus rising from the mud, beautiful, yet untouched by the noise of the world. In time, those who matter will see the blossom. So, how do we protect these sacred bonds? Begin with mindfulness. Before you speak, pause. Ask yourself, are my words true? Are they kind? Are they necessary? If the answer is no, let silence speak for you. This practice, simple yet powerful, can transform any relationship. It turns conflict into compassion and distance into closeness. Yet, do not mistake silence for suppression. Holding back anger is not the same as letting it dissolve. True silence is born from inner peace, not fear of conflict. If resentment lingers within, it will find its way out, through harsh words, cold looks, or distant hearts. The path is to transform that anger before it is spoken. Through mindfulness, you learn to hold your emotions gently, like a bird in your hand, neither crushing it with force nor letting it fly away. In this way, your silence becomes a gift, not a burden. Lastly, remember that love, like a flame, needs both air and shelter. Too much silence, and it may feel cold. Too many words, and it may burn too quickly. The balance lies in knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to hold close and when to let go. In this balance, relationships flourish, not as perfect gardens, but as wild forests, full of life, growth, and beauty. And so, as you walk the path of family and relationships, carry this wisdom with you. Not every thought needs a voice. Not every feeling needs to be shared. In silence, love finds space to grow. In patience, trust takes root. And in understanding, even the deepest wounds begin to heal. This is the power of silence, the unseen thread that holds us together, stronger than any word ever spoken. Spiritual practices, the strength found in solitude. Sit still for a moment. Listen to the silence around you. Can you hear it? The soft hum of life, the gentle rhythm of your breath. This is where strength begins, in the quiet space within yourself. Too often, people seek strength from others. But true strength is found when you stand alone, yet feel no loneliness. In solitude, the mind becomes clear. The noise of the world fades. No one is watching. No one is judging. Here, you can meet yourself as you truly are, without masks, without roles. But this kind of solitude is not about running away from others. No, no. It is about returning to yourself. Like a river returning to the ocean, you come back to the source of your being. Many think that spiritual practices must be shared. They believe that meditation, prayer, or chanting must be shown to others. But the deepest practices happen in silence and in solitude. When you sit alone with your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, there, you find what is real. The world may not see this practice, but its power shapes your life. Think of a seed buried in the earth. It grows in darkness, unseen by the world. Yet, when the time is right, it breaks through the soil, strong and full of life. Your spiritual practice is like that seed. It needs the quiet soil of solitude to grow strong. If you dig it up too often to show others, it may never take root. But solitude is not always easy. When you sit alone, old fears may whisper in your mind. Doubts may rise like shadows. Do not run from them. Sit still. Breathe. Watch them pass. Like clouds drifting across the sky, they come and go. In this stillness, you learn that you are not your thoughts. You are the sky, vast, open, and unshaken by passing storms. Some fear that solitude will make them feel lonely. But loneliness comes from feeling separate, from seeking connection outside yourself. In true solitude, you discover that you are never truly alone. The whole universe is within you. Every star, every tree, every wave of the ocean. When you sit quietly, you can feel this connection. And in that connection, there is no loneliness. There is peace. And what of sharing your practice with others? Should you never speak of it? No, that is not the way. There is a time to share, and a time to keep silent. When you share from a place of ego, from a desire to be admired, your practice loses its power. But when you share from a place of compassion, without seeking praise, your words can inspire others. Yet, even then, the deepest parts of your practice, those moments when you touch the heart of life itself, these are best kept within. Imagine a mountain standing tall and silent. It does not need to prove its strength. It does not shout to the world, "Look at me." Yet, anyone who stands near it can feel its power. Your spiritual practice should be like that mountain, strong, steady, and silent. Let its strength shine through your actions, not your words. In solitude, you also learn to listen, to yourself, to the world, to the wisdom that speaks in silence. Too often, people fill their days with noise, music, conversations, endless thoughts. But in the quiet moments, truth can be heard. A bird's song, the rustle of leaves, the beating of your own heart. These simple sounds remind you that life is always present, always enough. There is a story. Long ago, a young monk asked his teacher, "Master, why must I sit alone in silence every day? Should I not go out and share what I have learned?" The master smiled and said, First, you must learn to hear the sound of your own heart. Only then can you hear the hearts of others. And when you can hear without judgment, without the need to teach or prove yourself, then your presence alone will bring peace to those around you. So, do not fear solitude. Do not rush to share every insight, every moment of peace. Let your practice grow strong in the quiet soil of your own heart. And when the time comes, your strength will shine through your words, your actions, your very presence. People will feel it, even if they do not know why. But remember, solitude is not about isolation. It is about connection, deeper connection to yourself, to life, to the wisdom that flows through all things. When you return from this solitude, you will see the world with clearer eyes. You will speak with greater kindness. You will move through life with calm strength, like a tree rooted deep in the earth, unshaken by the winds of the world. So, when the world feels noisy and heavy, do not be afraid to step away. Find a quiet place. Sit still. Breathe. Let the noise fall away. And in that silence, discover the strength that has always been within you. This is the heart of spiritual practice. This is the strength found in solitude. Past mistakes, letting go without judgment. So you have come to speak of the past. Sit with me. Let the air be still. Do you hear it? The faint whispers of old mistakes, echoing in the mind. Yes, I know them well. Each person carries their own chorus of should-haves and if-onlys. But tell me, my friend, do these whispers help you? Or do they tighten like a rope around your heart? Consider this. A man walks through a forest carrying a heavy sack of stones. Each stone is a regret. One for harsh words spoken, one for a chance not taken, another for a moment of weakness. His shoulders ache, his steps grow slow, yet still, he clings to the sack. Now, ask yourself, would the forest not be easier to cross if he simply set the stones down? You see, the past is a teacher, but not a prison guard. Mistakes come to show us where the path is uneven, where our steps have faltered. But once the lesson is learned, why carry the weight? Oh, I see it in your eyes. You believe holding on is a form of responsibility, as if clinging to guilt proves you have a heart. But no, my friend. True responsibility is in moving forward with wisdom, not punishment. Let me tell you of a young woman who came seeking peace. She had hurt someone she loved and could not forgive herself. Every night, her mind replayed the moment, as if watching a broken lantern fall again and again. I asked her, if you drop a lantern and it shatters, will staring at the shards make it whole? She shook her head. Then why stare at your mistakes? I said, sweep up the pieces, light a new lantern, and walk on. And so she did. Not in a single day, no, but with each breath, she placed one stone down. Slowly, her shoulders straightened, her steps grew lighter, until one day, she looked back and saw the path behind her, clear and free. Perhaps you think, but my mistakes hurt others. Can I truly let go? A heart that asks this question is already noble. Yet, clinging to guilt does not heal those you've harmed. If you can make amends, do so with humility. But if the moment is gone, then honor them by living with greater kindness. Regret should be a lantern guiding you forward, not a chain holding you back. Listen closely now. There is a deeper truth. When you judge yourself harshly, you feed the illusion that you are separate from others. But in truth, all beings stumble. The wise monk, the gentle mother, the curious child, each has known regret. You are not alone in your mistakes. And if you can forgive others with compassion, why not offer the same gift to yourself? Some say, but if I forgive myself, won't I forget the lesson? No, forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering, without the poison of shame. Imagine holding a thorn tightly in your hand. The longer you grip it, the deeper it wounds. But if you open your hand, the thorn remains, but no longer causes pain. This is forgiveness. The memory stays, but without suffering. Now, consider this teaching from the Buddha. You cannot travel the path until you become the path itself. What does this mean? It means your past is not a cage. It is the soil from which wisdom grows. If you have lied, you now understand the value of truth. If you have been unkind, you now know the weight of harsh words. This wisdom is yours to carry, not as a burden, but as a lantern to light the way. Let me share one more story. There was once a man who betrayed a friend. For years, he carried the guilt like a stone in his chest. One day, he approached a wise teacher and asked, "How can I escape my past?" The teacher smiled and said, "Come with me." They walked to a river, and the teacher handed him a pebble. "Throw this pebble into the water," he said. The man obeyed. The pebble vanished beneath the surface with a faint ripple. "Now, bring it back," said the teacher. The man frowned. "That's impossible." The teacher nodded. "So it is with the past. Once done, it cannot be undone. But see how the river flows on, undisturbed? So too must your life continue. Do not stand forever at the water's edge. Step into the current and move forward." Oh, I see your heart beginning to understand. But let me warn you, letting go does not mean denying what has happened. To pretend the past does not exist is like covering a wound without cleansing it. Healing begins with honesty. Look at your mistakes without fear. Acknowledge the harm done, both to yourself and others. Feel the sorrow fully, then release it like breath leaving the body. Only then can the wound close. And what of those who cannot forgive you? This is the hardest stone to lay down. But remember, their forgiveness is a gift they may or may not offer. Your task is to forgive yourself, even if others do not. This does not mean you are free of responsibility. No, it means you choose not to carry their judgment as your own. You bow to their pain with respect, then continue walking your path. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I ask you, what stone will you set down today? Perhaps it is the memory of a harsh word spoken in anger. Perhaps it is the guilt of a promise broken. Or perhaps it is the simple regret of not being kinder to yourself. Whatever it may be, release it now. Feel the weight leave your shoulders. Feel the air grow lighter around you. Breathe deeply. The past is gone. The future has not yet come. All that remains is this moment, open and free. Can you feel it? Ah, yes. This is the gift of letting go. Not forgetting, not denying, but walking forward with a heart unburdened. And so, my friend, take this teaching with you as you continue your journey. The road ahead is long, but your steps are lighter now. Walk with peace. Walk with wisdom. And remember, the past may shape you, but it does not define you. Future plans, the power of silent preparation. Ah, so you wish to know about the future. The path that lies ahead, unseen but imagined. Listen carefully now. Let me share a truth so simple, yet so often forgotten. The seeds of tomorrow grow best in the soil of silence. Imagine a tree before it breaks the ground. Hidden beneath the earth, its roots spread quietly, gathering strength where no one can see. If the seed shouted its plans to the world, would it grow faster? No. Its power lies in patience and stillness. Your future is the same. Too often, we speak of our dreams before they are ready to rise. We tell others what we wish to do, hoping for encouragement, but their words, even well-meaning, can scatter our focus. Doubts creep in, expectations grow heavy, and slowly, the energy that should feed our actions begins to fade. Silence protects this energy. When you hold your plans within, they remain yours, pure and strong. There is no need to prove yourself to others. No need to seek approval. Your path belongs to you alone. But remember, silence does not mean inaction. The tree does not sit still beneath the soil. It pushes, slowly but steadily, toward the light. So must you. Each day, take one step closer to your goal. Small steps, unseen by the world, but known to you. This is the power of silent preparation. Do not fear the slow pace. In silence, growth is steady and sure. When the time is right, your actions will speak louder than any words. People will see the results, but they will not see the struggle. And that is as it should be. The strongest achievements are born in private. Ah, but I see doubt in your eyes. You wonder, what if I fail? What if I never reach my goal? Listen closely now. Failure is only a lesson. It is part of the journey. When no one knows your plans, failure carries no shame. You simply learn, adjust, and continue. Free from judgment, your heart remains light. Consider this. A bird does not announce its flight before taking wing. It simply flies, and the world watches in wonder. Be like the bird. Let your success be the first sound others hear of your plans. Now, some may say, but should I not share my dreams with those I trust? Ah, yes, trust is precious. Yet even the kindest words can sometimes weaken our resolve. Choose carefully. Share only with those who truly support your growth, those who offer strength, not doubt. And even then, share only what is needed. Patience is your ally. In silence, you give yourself time to learn, to grow, and to improve. When you rush to share your plans, you risk building castles in the air, dreams that vanish at the first breeze of criticism. But when you prepare in silence, your foundation is strong. No storm can shake what is built with steady hands and a focused mind. And do not mistake silence for loneliness. You are never alone. The universe moves with you, unseen but present. Every step you take, every effort you make, is supported by forces beyond your sight. Trust in this. Let your silence be a conversation with the universe, one that needs no words. Now, you may ask, when should I speak of my plans? Ah, the answer is simple. When your actions have already begun to bear fruit. Speak only when your progress is clear, when your success can inspire others. Not before. For words spoken too soon are like flowers picked before they bloom. They cannot show their full beauty. Silence teaches you discipline. It strengthens your will. Without the need to explain yourself, your energy remains focused. Distractions fall away. Doubts lose their power. In this space of quiet determination, your future takes shape, strong, steady, and unstoppable. So, my friend, guard your dreams as the seed guards its roots. Nurture them with patience, not words. Let your actions speak when the time is right. And when you stand beneath the sky, your dreams realized, you will know the power of silent preparation. Now take a breath. Feel the stillness within you. In this silence, your future waits, ready to grow. Good deeds. Why true virtue seeks no praise. Ah, come, sit with me. Let us speak of kindness, the kind that blooms quietly, like a flower hidden deep in the forest. No eyes see it. No hands reach to pluck it. Yet still, it blooms simply because it is its nature to do so. This, my friend, is true virtue. Think for a moment. When you help someone, do you wait to hear thank you? When you give, do you hope others notice? It is natural to want appreciation, yes. But listen closely. The heart that acts only for praise is like a tree that blossoms only when watched. What happens when no one is there? The blossoms wither. True goodness, however, is like a tree that blooms because it must, whether seen or unseen. Long ago, a monk walked through a village. He saw a woman struggling to lift a heavy basket. Without a word, he stepped forward, lifted the basket, and carried it to her home. The woman bowed in thanks, but the monk simply smiled and walked away. When asked why he did not wait to be praised, the monk said, "The sun does not wait for thanks when it warms the earth." You see, kindness is its own reward. When you help someone, their smile becomes a gift that needs no wrapping. Their relief, their joy, that is enough. Praise is like the wind. It comes and goes, never staying long. But the warmth of a good deed stays within you, steady and strong. But there is a danger. If you act only to hear praise, your heart grows restless. When thanks do not come, you feel disappointment. Slowly, kindness becomes a trade. You give only to receive. This is not true virtue. True virtue asks for nothing. It gives because it must. Like a river flowing to the sea, it gives freely, without thought of reward. Think of the Buddha. He taught not to be praised, but to ease suffering. When a hungry man was fed, when a sorrowful heart found peace, the Buddha did not ask for thanks. His joy came from seeing others free from pain. This is the heart of compassion, to give, not for praise, but because you cannot bear to see another suffer. But do not misunderstand. It is not wrong to feel happy when someone thanks you. This is natural. The danger is when you begin to need that praise, when your kindness depends on it. Then, your heart is no longer free. Imagine a bird that will only sing if others listen. Without an audience, its song dies. But the bird that sings simply because it is morning, that bird is truly free. Now, you may ask, if I do good in silence, who will know? But the universe knows. Every act of kindness is like a stone dropped into a pond. The ripples spread outward, touching shores you cannot see. Help one person, and their heart grows lighter. They, in turn, help another. And so, your silent act of kindness travels farther than you can imagine. Consider this. A man plants a tree, though he knows he will never sit in its shade. Years later, children play beneath its branches. Birds nest in its leaves. The man is gone, but his kindness remains. This is the power of silent virtue. Yet, the world is full of noise. Everywhere, people shout their good deeds. Look what I have done. See how kind I am. But remember this, the loudest drum is often empty inside. True goodness needs no drum. It speaks in the quiet language of the heart. A gentle hand offered in the dark. A smile given with no expectation. These are the deeds that shape the world. Now, do not think this means you must hide all goodness. No. Sometimes, sharing kindness inspires others to do the same. But the difference lies in the heart's intention. Ask yourself, do I share this story to inspire or to be praised? The heart knows the difference. And when your heart acts from pure compassion, even if the world never knows, that is when you are truly free. Some may wonder, if no one sees my good deeds, will they matter? Imagine a candle in a dark room. It does not shout, "See my light." Yet still, it brings warmth and comfort. Even if no one praises the candle, its light is not wasted. So too with kindness. Even if no one knows, the warmth remains. Now, take this wisdom into your life. The next time you help someone, do not wait for thanks. Simply smile and walk on, like the monk with the basket. Let your kindness be like the sun, warming others without needing to be seen. And remember, every silent act of goodness adds light to the world. Even if no one sees it, the world is brighter because you are kind. Do you understand now? True virtue seeks no praise, because it is already complete within itself. When you give without expecting, your heart becomes light. When you help without seeking credit, your spirit becomes free. This is the way of the wise. This is the path to peace. So go now. Let your kindness bloom quietly, like the flower in the forest. Let your goodness flow freely, like the river to the sea. Do not wait for thanks. Do not seek applause. Simply be kind, because you can. And in that silent kindness, you will find a peace that no praise can give. Inner thoughts and emotions. Mastering the mind's dialogue. Oh, you are here. Good. Sit with me for a while. Let us talk about something very important. What happens inside your mind? You see, thoughts and feelings are like clouds in the sky. They come and go. But if you hold on to them too tightly, they can cover the sun within you. Many people share their thoughts too quickly. They feel something strong, joy, anger, fear, and rush to tell someone. But not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every feeling needs to be shown. Sometimes, silence is the wiser path. Imagine a pond, still and clear. When you throw too many stones into it, too many words, too many emotions, the water becomes muddy. But when you stop, the pond becomes calm again. In that calm, you can see the truth. Why do we feel the need to share our thoughts so often? Perhaps we want others to understand us. Or maybe we seek comfort. But remember this, when you speak, you give your energy away. If you share your worries too much, they grow bigger. If you talk too much about your dreams, they lose their power. Words are like seeds. Plant them wisely. Now, this does not mean you should never speak. No. There is a time to share and a time to be silent. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Imagine holding a candle in your hands. If you protect its flame, it will burn brightly. But if you expose it to every breeze, it will flicker and die. Your inner thoughts are like that flame. Protect them. Let them grow strong within you before you share them with the world. Emotions, too, are powerful. Joy can lift your spirit, while anger can burn like fire. But if you let every emotion control your words, you become like a leaf blown by the wind, always moving, never still. The wise person feels emotions deeply but does not let them rule their tongue. They understand that silence is not weakness. It is strength. Consider this. When you are angry, words come quickly. Sharp words, hurtful words. But if you pause, if you breathe, the anger will pass. And when you finally speak, your words will be calm and clear. This is the power of mastering your inner dialogue. When you control your mind, you control your life. Some thoughts are best kept private, not because they are wrong, but because they need time to grow. A tree does not shout as it grows. It grows in silence, reaching toward the sun. Your dreams are the same. Let them grow quietly within you. Share them only when they are strong enough to stand on their own. Now, you may wonder, what if I have painful thoughts? Should I keep them inside? No, pain should not be hidden, but choose carefully who you share it with. Not everyone can understand your pain, and not everyone needs to know your struggles. Sometimes, sitting quietly with your pain allows you to understand it more deeply. In that silence, healing begins. There is also the matter of pride. Sometimes, we share our thoughts to impress others, to show how smart or kind we are. But this is the ego speaking. The ego craves attention. It wants others to see how wise we are. But true wisdom does not need applause. It shines quietly, like the moon in the night sky. It needs no praise to be beautiful. And what about happiness? Should we keep our joys to ourselves? Not always. Sharing joy can spread light to others. But even here, wisdom is needed. If you share your happiness too often, it can lose its sweetness. Like a flower, joy is most beautiful when it blooms naturally, without being forced. Remember, your mind is your sanctuary. The more you protect its peace, the stronger you become. Think of a fortress with strong walls. If the gates are always open, anyone can enter, bringing noise, chaos, and confusion. But when the gates are closed, the fortress is safe. In the same way, guard your thoughts. Share them only with those who will treat them with care. But do not misunderstand. Silence does not mean isolation. It means choosing your words with care. It means speaking only when your words bring peace, clarity, or kindness. And when words are not needed, silence speaks for you. A calm mind and a gentle heart are more powerful than 1,000 words. So, as you go through life, remember this. Your inner thoughts are precious. Your emotions are powerful. Protect them. Master them. Let your mind be like a still pond, clear, calm, and full of quiet strength. And when you do speak, let your words be like drops of water, gentle, pure, and full of life. Now, take a deep breath. Let these words settle in your heart, and as you continue your journey, carry this wisdom with you. Speak less, listen more. Feel deeply, but respond calmly. And above all, trust the silence within you. For in that silence, you will find your truest self. The path to wisdom, embracing silence as a way of life. So we meet again, dear one. Imagine standing at the edge of a still lake. The air is calm, the water smooth as glass. When you speak, ripples break the surface. But when you fall silent, the lake returns to perfect stillness. Life is much the same. Every word you speak stirs the waters of your world. But in silence, you find peace. In silence, wisdom whispers. You have walked far to reach this moment. You have listened, reflected, and perhaps you have begun to see the power that lies in holding some things close to your heart. Now, as we come to the end of this journey, let me share one final truth. True wisdom is not found in knowing more. It is found in needing less. Less noise, less approval, less need to explain yourself. When you embrace silence, you step into a space where your mind becomes clear, your heart becomes calm, and your spirit becomes strong. But silence is not emptiness. No, silence is full of answers, full of understanding. When you stop speaking, you start hearing. You hear the wisdom within you. You hear the world without the clutter of your thoughts. And in that stillness, you see life as it truly is, simple, beautiful, and free. Some fear silence. They think it is loneliness. But silence is not loneliness. Silence is a friend, a wise, patient friend who waits for you to listen. When you sit with silence, you discover yourself. You see your fears, your desires, your dreams. And slowly, you learn which ones to hold on to and which ones to let go. Think of a tree. It does not shout as it grows. Its strength comes from deep roots, hidden from sight. So too, your strength grows in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Each time you choose not to share a fear, you give your courage space to grow. Each time you keep a dream close, you give it strength to blossom. But remember, silence is not about hiding. It is not about fear or secrecy. Silence is about wisdom. It is knowing what to share and what to hold. It is choosing your words carefully, like a gardener planting seeds. Speak only what brings peace. Share only what helps others. And when words are not needed, let silence speak for you. Now you may wonder, will silence make me distant from others? No. True silence deepens your connections. When you stop speaking to fill the air, you begin to hear what others truly say. You listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. And when you do speak, your words carry weight, because they rise from a place of thoughtfulness and care. Even in relationships, silence has its place. Not every feeling needs to be voiced. Sometimes, love is best shown in a gentle touch, a kind glance, a steady presence. Words can explain love, but silence can show it. And in moments of anger or pain, silence can prevent harm. A word once spoken cannot be taken back, but a moment of silence can stop a lifetime of regret. Perhaps you think, but what if I am misunderstood? That is the way of the world. No matter how carefully you speak, not all will understand you. But remember this, you do not live to be understood. You live to be at peace with yourself. When you know your truth, the opinions of others lose their power. Silence teaches you to trust yourself. It teaches you that your worth is not in what others think, but in how you live. Now, look back on the path you have walked. 10 things, 10 lessons, each teaching you the value of holding some parts of your life close. Your dreams, your struggles, your kindness, your thoughts, each kept within, like treasures hidden in your heart. But do not think of this as a burden. No, it is a gift that gives you strength, clarity, and freedom. As this journey ends, let me leave you with one final thought. True silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of peace. When you embrace silence, you carry that peace with you, into your thoughts, your words, your actions. And in that peace, you find the wisdom to live a life of purpose, compassion, and joy. Now take a breath. Feel the stillness within you. It is yours to keep. Before you go, a small request. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please, if these words have touched your heart, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps this space of wisdom grow and reach others who may need it. Go now, with silence as your guide. The path to wisdom is yours to walk.